broad area within it's within a lot of fields. Diffusive innovations is used in sociology, is used in communication, is used in marketing. Basically, diffusive innovations talks about how does a new idea in terms of time travel through a society, new idea. So you know, the period is 1985. I am in America. 1985. And suddenly I go to somebody's house for dinner, and I see a big box in there on their counter. And once in a while it makes noise. So I ask, what is that? That's microwave oven. What do you do? It gets things hot very quickly. Really? And the vessel stays cold. One thing, don't put metal in it. Paper is fine. Even plastic is fine. That was when microwave started in 1985. Now you can trace from 1985 to close to 100% adoption of microwave. That is called diffusion of an innovation across time. Of course, we are interested not in the diffusion of microwave ovens. We are interested in the diffusion of new ideas. How do new ideas how do they travel in society? Okay, in agriculture, in health. Simple thing. You want women to boil the water before they give it to their child in rural area. That's all. Okay. So it could be a task. You need to boil the water. So like that. That's an innovation. A simple thing like that. Who are the people who first adopted? Why? Then who are the next group of people who adopted? Why? And follow. And it's given us some very useful models. The first people who adopt any technology, whether it be microwave oven or narrow pants have come back. For those of you who love narrow pants and don't like my broad pants, my pant was narrower than yours when I was in college. I just want to tell you that. Narrow pants were extremely popular when we were students. And when we were college students, our pants had no pleats. Flat. We have come back to flat now. So anyway, who are the first people who adopted? Why? So they've come up. We don't have to go in much detail at this point. Diffusion of innovations also use the same theoretical models we are talking about. Okay. So I have summarized everything for you here. Next, please. Next one. Yeah. Okay. How are we doing on time? When are we taking a break? No. Break is not 4:15. It is a tea break. Now. 3:30. Okay. No, I just want to know the time. 15 more minutes. Then we'll take a break. Then I'll speak and then open it up. Now I want to move to another area where health communication found a very hospitable environment. Social psychology, along with medical science and media effects research in the 60s and 70s, they came up with some very important psychological scales or models. We are all psychological creatures, right? And so psychologists have mapped us. There's an inventory for self-esteem scale. There's a self-esteem scale. There's an aggression scale. There's this scale, that scale. These are all psychometric scales or psychology, where they basically ask you a whole bunch of questions. Usually an expert does it. And then you answer. Then they analyze your answer, give you a score. The index has a low score. If you're high, you're high. You're low, you're low. So you're high on, let's say, self-esteem, or low in self-esteem, like that. These psychological theories also dominated health communication. And guess what? This is about our field, which is another challenge. Communication is done all over the place. These guys are in schools of medicine. These guys are in departments of psychology. They don't publish in our journals, but they are doing communication research. At least a good part. They use the same kinds of models. The persuasion models that was developed first by United States during Second World War. I mean, these things have some pretty dark history. You know. I don't want to make your buying experience bad, but they came from propaganda research of the 1940s. How can I make you do that? You know. And then during peacetime, advertisers got government research free, just like they got the internet free in the 1990s. But yet we criticize the government, right? So what's the difference? While we guys, when I say we guys, were interested in mass media, and we were tinkering with the mass media a lot, these guys were not interested in mass media. They were interested in interpersonal communication. You know, no mass media. I talk to you. I talk to myself. Intrapersonal communication. We all talk together as members of a group. Communication. I'm giving you a speech almost now. Speech communication. Lots of communication besides mass media. They used the human communication model. But they took the SMCR model and they just changed the labels. Just simple cut and paste. No thinking. You know. And that's what happens. Especially if you're cutting and pasting in a language. Sometimes we used to use plural. Where you use feminine, you use masculine. You'll fail. You know. So basically, what happened here was they took and changed the labels. Source is you. Receiver is an interpersonal source. Channel is nothing but the air between you and me, your facial expressions, my facial expressions, my hand expressions, body expressions, all of this that make up what we call, you know. And many times it's us. Just us. We are both the sources and receivers, but the model was the same. Okay? So, in other words, the bias of the theory was still the same. And there was another problem with this. A lot of these were many hypotheses to be true. How do people? Is there a relationship between knowledge and attitude? Anyone done a paper like that? Or heard about that? Knowledge, attitude. These are all very popular. Those are two psychological variables, social psychology. So we collect data, we run correlations and statistics, and we see if there's a positive correlation between attitudes and behavior. Behavior is the what shall we say? The best ice cream. If you like ice cream. Behavior is what everybody ultimately the sociologists, political scientists, advertisers, everybody they want to do what they're telling you. Behavior is very important. Behavior is very important. So much of research has been done in social psychology. Greater the positive attitude about something, greater are the chances of you either approving it in terms of behavior, doing it. Lower the positive attitude, lower the choice. You're not going to go and support something that you really don't have a positive attitude about, right? So all of these have come to us psychosocial theory. This was going on the entire time. Many of my students have used these models. That went away. And these kinds of models are very popular. But the problem with these models was they dealt with only the individual. Okay. Now you might say, what's wrong with that? See, when you read your textbooks, passing your exam is one thing. I'll tell you what. I don't really think that. I know I shouldn't be talking about the Indian context, but US context. I tell them, don't worry about what grade you're going to get in this class. 10 years from now, you won't even took this class. Forget the grade. But the knowledge you have picked up, that won't go. That's why when you approach education, you read something, read for life. Of course, you have to pass the exam, and you will. If you're that kind of person, so what was I talking about? At the individual level only. Now, what are we talking about? We're talking about health. Okay, and many of these Asian African countries, societies are not individualistic. Usually you consult with your family, you consult with others that you trust, and but in Western countries it's not necessarily true. And so there was the I want to open my computer so that I have a script of what I'm going to do. I'll keep talking now. But the psychosocial theories also had. Just give me one second, please. Okay. We have about 5 more minutes, and then we'll break up for tea. So let me. I have a copy of this, and later on, if you wanted a copy of this PowerPoint, I'm going to leave a copy with the department. So feel free to copy Dr. Amjad Ahmed, or he can tell you where whom to. So I'll do that. So basically, what I was telling about is. So in psychosocial theories, it was the same thing. Except that now we had experts telling us the connection between these different psychological variables, and the individual level could not be generalized in third world countries because that was not the norm in these countries. That was a problem. But another bias was they also considered communication as just information transfer. It was basically they're finding connections between, let's say, attitudes and behavior. How are attitudes collected? Through some expert-driven scale. How is behavior measured? Through some expert-derived scale. Okay? So we are still talking about this old model, and basically saying that somehow if we can change people's attitudes about something. For example, I've done a lot of HIV research in the 80s and 90s, and one of the problems we used to have about HIV research is that there is no cure for HIV/AIDS, but there is prevention. And one of the things that we talked about, now everybody seems to know, but not in the 80s, safe sex practices. Now this was a very sensitive subject. Just because it's sensitive, we cannot stop because we have a disease that was killing hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands. So there were all kinds of research that we did in the case of HIV, where we looked at people have an attitude. They don't like to have safe sex because again we came up with a whole bunch of things that men think that it is not okay to use condoms, but that is a must. So how do we change the attitudes? And so we came up with all this research, and then we found that better the attitude, the better the chances that people would use condoms. Wow, that's fantastic. You know, then we can control HIV. So these studies were also doing good work, but they were also mining information in the same place. Information transfer. So now I want to probably this is a good time. Here are some examples. I can show you. There are lots of examples of okay. That is a good thing. Take a break.